Officials, by the way, in Hawaii, they're preparing for the worst as Lala approaches. We just have our newest 11 o'clock Eastern advisory that just came in. We still have tropical storm warnings and hurricane warnings in effect for the island of Hawaii. Lala expected to grow into a Category 1 hurricane as it approaches Hawaii. We do want to bring in Fox Weather hurricane specialist Bryan Norcross to help break things down. I'm looking at the new advisories here in front of me, Bryan, and I'm curious, what stands out to you in the 11 o'clock? Anything?
Well, yeah, senior forecaster Robbie Berg actually wrote that advisory, and he's one of the best forecasters of hurricanes around. And he was pointing out that the interaction with the island of Hawaii and the tall mountains could pull the system, the center of the system, north a bit because of the way the pressure on the backside of the island affects it. So we'll see. We'll look at this in real detail here as we go along, and I'll show you what Robbie's talking about, and we'll see. But right now, you can see what's happening with the center. It's moving in the short term in a more westerly direction, in the long term on that west-northwesterly direction, and that's the official direction because they look at kind of a longer term average. 65-mile-an-hour winds and 991 pressure, so no changes there. Although we see on the satellite, look up in here, you see this curved band, which is looking more impressive in terms of the possible intensification, and we'll look at that in some detail on the radar here in just a moment. So when we start seeing a curved band like that, that's a sign that it could begin to intensify, even though the measurements don't show that at the current time, but they still do indicate that this could become a hurricane. Now, when they analyze the winds and how far out the strong winds extend, this is the tropical storm force winds. So tropical storm force winds are occurring in gusts on Hawaii already, and some sustained tropical storm force winds aloft up the mountains. Because you have those big mountains, the winds are just enhanced by those mountains, so that's why these winds extend out so far. These are the hurricane force gusts here. So you see, if the storm moves up in this direction here, those hurricane force gusts are going to occupy at least the southern half of that island, and then again be enhanced by the mountains. So some hurricane force sustained winds still possible, and that's why they have the hurricane warning in effect for Hawaii. Notice the tropical storm force winds extending out over 200 miles to the north, again enhanced by those mountains. Let's look at the winds right now, and then we'll take a look at the forecast track, because it's interesting. So we see this is up at 2,000 feet. You have the 36 mile per hour gusts there, and this one is up about 100 feet there at the airport on the northern point, 35 miles per hour right now. Hilo, which is much closer down to the ocean level, gusting to 25. So they're beginning to feel it, but the strong winds are out here. They're just offshore is where that band of the strongest winds are. Moving up the islands, look at this. Now this is elevated, and it must be funneled somehow there. They've had consistently strong gusts there. This is on Maui, on the extreme southern coast of Maui. It's elevated up about 900 feet there. But then what's interesting is this is, if you've ever driven the road to Hana down here, this is just below Hana down at beach level, and it's maybe we're just up from that actually, and that's not got much. So anyway, this is the airport up on the northern side, Kahului Airport. That's if you fly into Maui, that's where you fly into. So they're gusting up to tropical storm strength there. And over on Molokai, it's still getting breezy. And even over on Honolulu, look here, 30-mile-an-hour gusts, 28 at HNL, the airport there in Honolulu. So the winds are spreading already along the Hawaiian chain. Now here's the analysis from the radar. The green winds are toward the radar like this, and the red and yellows are away from the radar here. So you have the circulation of the storm. And when we analyze this, we get 65 to 70 mile an hour winds at about 10 to 15,000 feet in here, and that's from that they come up with the 65 miles per hour at the surface. And we're not seeing that strengthen yet, but based on the satellite depiction there. We're going to watch this very closely because we expect to see that strengthen. Now, let's look a little closer at this here. There you can see, look, you can see this eye forming here right before your eyes on the radar. You're seeing these bands around both sides of that center. So an eye is forming. Normally that indicates that we're heading toward hurricane strength. The question is, will these winds in here, which are the strongest winds in the storm, and how will they interact with the island? Now, up here, you have pretty strong winds in this band, too. So that's, again, just offshore. So this is all to come here as we move through the morning hours Hawaii time, afternoon hours Eastern time. Going up closer here and looking at the winds, and this is what Robbie was talking about in the discussion. Here we go with the winds coming into the island like this, and then we have these mountains. So they get deflected down here, and they get deflected up here. And you notice we don't have winds out here. What we have out here is kind of low pressure developing over here. So the question is whether the flow around this low pressure like this is going to want to pull the storm closer to the island. And how it interacts with the island, it's a very fine thing, because if it stays just far enough south, it's not going to have that real effect of getting pulled north. If it gets up close to the island, then that can come into effect, and you can get a jog and a reformation of the system kind of down behind the island. So it's really too close to call. Bottom line is that this band is coming in relatively soon, and we'll see if that core of the storm makes it up near the island. So here is the cone and the forecast from the Hurricane Center. So there's where we are now. That's what I showed you before. And we'll watch as we go forward in time. Here's the time here. So 6 a.m. would be, in the next hour, would be noon Eastern time. So their forecast brings it right to South Point about 3 p.m. Hawaii time this afternoon. So that would be this evening in the east. Brings the hurricane force gusts over a good part of the Big Island, and you can just barely make it out there, the dark reds. Hurricane force sustained down there around Ocean View and extreme southern part of the island. But of course you have elevation there, which of course comes into play as well. And then here we are at 2 a.m. Hawaii time. This is into the morning hours, and this will be tomorrow morning here on the East Coast, and you see tropical storm force winds over Oahu, Honolulu, and Maui and Molokai, and then pushing up later in the day toward Kauai as the system goes on by. So the winds should let up in Hawaii by late tomorrow, their time, but the thing is that the moisture is dragging behind it. So the moisture is not going to end with the winds, even though the effect of the moisture will. And here you see it on Monday. So the winds are gone by Monday morning, but, and by the way, the models show it just offshore. I wanted to show you that, just offshore. So the National Hurricane Center cone is a little north, thinking about that island interaction. But here's the moisture, and this is on Monday early morning, overnight Hawaii time, and look, there's still this moisture tail back here. So even though the storm is way over here, the moisture is going to linger for a while. So it's not going to be kind of totally normal Hawaii weather until later on Monday. Looks like Sunday will be the kind of rough day. So we're still looking for the heavy rain on these windward slopes, because the winds are going to blow out of the east. So it's going to be like strong trade winds, same direction. So where the wet side of the island is going to get it. And here's the latest analysis. So still pretty, for the Kona side, the dry side of the island, still pretty heavy rain there. And then going around here, this is the latest analysis of the computers of where the heaviest rain is going to be on these slopes around Volcano National Park there, and on this is Mauna Kea here, this big tall mountain up near 14,000 feet. So up the slopes from Hilo, and then of course all that water has to run downhill. Let me just take a quick mention of the Atlantic. We're worried very, very little about any kind of development here, just some gusty showers moving through some of the islands. That's going to be it. And this one is down to 10%. So no issues there. All right, guys, still watching for exactly how this island interaction is going to come into play.
Yeah, it'll be so interesting, again, how close this actually gets to making a landfall. I know that you'll be on top of it every step of the way, and we're going to be checking in with you every single hour. Fox Weather Hurricane Specialist Bryan Norcross. Bryan, always appreciate your analysis.